We begin with the biggest story in India, electoral bonds. After all the delays, all the legal tussles and all the political fights, the data is out. We now have a gold mine of information. Who donated to India's political parties, how much did they donate, and what did each party get? All this information is now in the public domain. It's a big victory for transparency in election funding. At the same time, it's also a challenge because we're talking about a lot of data, tens of thousands of entries. I know you've been getting bits and pieces of information from different places. Some fake news is also doing the rounds and misrepresentation of facts. So tonight, we've compiled the data to bring you the 10 big highlights. Number one, the total purchases. The data covers a specific time period. From April 2019 to February 2024, that's around 5 years. In this period, more than 22,000 bonds were purchased. Some by companies, some by individuals. Put together, there were 1,260 donors, more than 1,200 donors. And how much money did they give? More than 12,000 crore Indian rupees. That's about 1.5 billion US dollars. The top 20 donors are all companies. Together, they donated around 6,000 crores. In other words, 20 donors gave half of all the money, which brings us to highlight number two. Who was the biggest donor? A company called Future Gaming and Hotel Services. It is based in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore. It is headed by this man, Santiago Martin, aka Lottery King. He started this company back in 1991. Today, it has a foothold in 13 Indian states. And what does this company do? Conduct lotteries. Martin has a huge network of buyers and sellers. Guess how much he donated via poll bonds? More than 1,300 crore rupees, which is 150 million US dollars. Next is highlight number three. The second biggest donor on the list, Megha Engineering and Infrastructures. It's an unlisted company based in Hyderabad. It makes tunnels and railway infrastructure. You may know some of their projects, like the Zojila tunnel in Kashmir. And how much did they donate? 966 crore rupees or $116 million. Now, this company is also involved in India's first bullet train. They're making a station in Mumbai. Now, we come to highlight number four. The third biggest donor, a company called Quick Supply Chain. They build warehouses and storage units. They donated some 410 crore rupees. That's around 50 million US dollars. Now, chances are you haven't heard of these companies. None of them are listed on the stock market. But the top 10 does have a few familiar names. And that's highlight number five. Vedanta Group, slotted in as the fourth biggest donor. They gave some 400 crore rupees. At number six is the Bharti Group, the company that owns Airtel. They donated around 224 crore rupees. Another familiar name is Keventer, a food company based in Kolkata. They donated using 3 different subsidiaries. And the total? A whopping 670 crore rupees, Keventers. All the big names of India Inc. are also on this list. ITC, Mahindra, DLF, PVR, the Birlas, Bajaj, SpiceJet, Indigo, Ultratech Cements, all of them have bought electoral bonds. Next is highlight number 6. An apparent trend in the donations. Many of these companies were being pursued by central agencies like the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. Let's look at the Lottery King, for example. The ED started investigating him in 2019. By 2022, they had attached some of his assets. 5 days after this attachment, the Lottery King bought poll bonds, some 100 crores of it. So there is a link, or is there a link, between the probe and the donation? We'll get to that in a bit. For now, highlight number 7. How much money did the ruling BJP get? Data shows around 6,000 crores, which is 47% of all donations. The BJP was by far the biggest beneficiary. Highlight number 8. How much money did the opposition get? Leading this list is the TMC, the Trinamool Congress that rules the state of West Bengal. They got 1,600 crore rupees, the TMC, 1,600 crore rupees. Behind the TMC is the Congress Party, the main opposition party in India. They got some 1,400 crore rupees. Telangana's BRS received more than 1,200 crore rupees. Odisha's Biju Janata Dal got 775 crores and Tamil Nadu's DMK got 640 crores. Now, the trend here is quite clear. Ruling parties received a lion's share, both at the center and in states. Next is highlight number 9. How are political parties reacting to it? The opposition is focusing on one point, the link between central agencies and donations. They say companies were pressured to donate, sort of like extortion. They also say donations were used as kickbacks. Like mining companies got permits after donating, infra companies got contracts after donating. They're calling it one donation, one party. But the ruling BJP has rejected all these charges. Finally, highlight number 10. What happens next? Well, these bonds also have a unique identification number. It links the donor to the party. And that number has not been released yet. But the Supreme Court wants it published. They've issued a notice to the State Bank of India, and that number will trigger more controversy because it's the missing link in this whole case. The SBI, the State Bank of India, should reveal that data next week. We'll see what happens then.